That's the sleeping dart set up there for the Mirana, but then that means either the Riki or the Mirana is a core. Which one are you
Or
thinking is more likely there? Probably the Riki, right?
I wouldn't put out of the question that it's an Undying core. We have
Yep.
seen the Aghanim Shard Echo Saber on Undying build worked pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Cuckoo plays that, but yeah, Ricky, Undying, or Mirana's core. It could be Raven on them. Actually, there's another thing. We have seen Carry Mirana come out a little bit here and there. But yeah, Blacklist, very open with this sort of 3 support draft. Maybe it's a Ricky core. Like, honestly, Ricky, Undying, and Mirana, I wouldn't put any of them as impossible to be a core, you know?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
but to be fair, Underlord's a good counter to pretty much all of them, right? Percentage damage against the Undying, good catch against the Ricky, Ember, and Mirana, plus a Rod of Atos with a Pit of Malice. These are bad matchups that they're getting on for Blacklist at the moment.
Definitely. Well, one thing I want to note as well is the series that I cast last of Spawn Team a couple of days ago. They actually decided to put Mamang Dyer on the Underlord mids, and I believe that was actually versus the Ember Spirit as well. So
Yes.
that could be a possibility right now, and Spawn Team could swap it around last second and yeah, go for a different offlaner. Maybe Blacklist, if they did a little bit of the research and they saw that happen, they could keep that in their mind as well. But I mean, it did do too great. He did fine in the laning phase of that situation, but he wasn't able to, make mid laner plays. He was very static, sort of had to do his own game, and yeah, it did end up losing in the long run. But we'll see. We'll see where they're gonna go.
I love what you're saying with the idea of Underlord mid, because I think either Underlord, if he's up against the Ember Spirit or Mirana or even the Ricky as a core, he's got so much extra damage coming out from the Atrophy Aura that you will be able to deny a lot. Like, he is a beast in the lane. For Spawn, though, they do believe that it's going to be Undying offlane. They get rid of the Slark. I don't think I've seen Carry Mirana. I don't think I've seen offlane Mirana. So I'm not gonna give into I don't believe that's what's gonna happen. And seems like that's what Spawn's thinking as well. They're like, it's gonna be offlane Undying. It's gonna be a position for Mirana because the Mirana Ricky combo works really well as a scouting thing. I don't think you want Mirana core in that situation because she'll just be following the Ricky. You want her to be a support so she has that time to chase people around.
Yeah. So if it is an Undying core offlaner and Spawn Team pick the Monkey King into it, how do you like that match? Obviously, Undying does generally like to play versus melee heroes that they can land those easy decays on again and again, but Monkey King is also a carry which can excel at bullying out opposing melee heroes. So it's like, who actually comes out on top in that trade?
Well, I think it comes down to your partner, right? Because if it's Monkey King Rubik, I think that's okay. They go with the carry Ursa. All right, so I'm feeling it's going to be Cuckoo on Undying, but I'm not sure, right? It could be Cuckoo on Mirana, Cuckoo on Ricky. We'll find out. I mean, he's been very creative with his picks.
Yeah.
For Spawn again, they could take a support or they could take like a mid laner here. It could be the 5-4 with the Tusk. Like, do you want Tusk and Monkey King together against Undying? That's a tough lane. That's 2 melee against it. That's just very hard. Monkey King Rubik is better. Yeah, but I mean, it's an odd draft by Blacklist. I love it though. I'm so happy we're getting something a little bit out of the meta with if this is an Undying offlane. I would be so happy with that.
Yeah, it is always fun to see. It is, not the flashiest hero, but still when it works, it looks really, really damn good. And it looks fun as well. And Legion Commander is actually the last pick there for Spawn Team, which is funny because in that series where they played Underlord mid, they also played Legion Commander mid. So it's like, which one is Mamang Dyer on? Okay, he does go for the Underlord.
All right. I mean, yeah, I was thinking it's gonna be like I do like what they have from the Ursa. From the Legion Commander that save. So AU is going to be the position 5. Undying is going to be the offlane Mirana.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I feel about that. I was hoping for the offlane Undying instead, but offlane Mirana, it could work. But you have a Legion Commander, so she's going to be able to disrupt a lot of these arrows, as well as the Ricky Sleeping Dart. You have good defensive abilities from the Underlord.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the draft from Spawn Team. I don't know how I like this offlane Mirana. I was going to go all in on Blacklist. I'm like, they're the better team. High MMR wins all the time, right? But then I look at this draft.
Yeah.
Tough.
It doesn't seem the easiest way to get duel victories though. Like there isn't like a huge amount of burst damage that I'm seeing from Spawn. It's really just, you know, a little bit from the Rubik and a bit from the Tusk. The Monkey King and Underlord can't really contribute too much to try and get red to those early duels. So maybe he might just be using that ultimate as more of a lockdown tool rather than trying to get plenty of victories on the board, perhaps.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it ends up panning out.
Here's the thing. I like Spawn's draft more, but I have seen, you know, Ricky position 4 once that 15-minute mark comes out, crush the game. Like just crush the game on the Ricky with the Aghanim shard. So a part of me is kind of like, I like Spawn's draft more, but the Ricky is kind of crazy. You know what? I'm gonna go with Spawn. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I think Jikroy's skin with the Monkey King convinced me. I was like, that looks like a fearsome Monkey King outfit. I'm gonna go with the Spawn. I think that might be a very risky, like bet, but yeah, go Spawn. We'll see if Blacklist can we take this game or not.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I think I'm feeling as well. I'm gonna agree with it, like we always do. We never really differ away from each other, do we? And, yeah, I believe in Spawn going to be able to take down, you know, potentially the first game of this best of 3. Obviously, we are done with the best of 2, guys. A winner has to be declared at the end of this series, so it's always exciting to see. Another thing I want to mention as well, maybe the reason why they went for the Mirana, right? You know, normally we've seen Mirana support Ricky plenty of times. You know, the sleeping dart setup into the arrow. And then they always needed another core to come with them to actually do the damage. But this time round, they don't need to bring the extra hero. It could literally just be the 2 of them, as the Mirana's going to be the core themselves, so going to be prioritizing the build into more DPS style, I would imagine. And yeah, potentially they could just look for kills with just these 2 rather than having to bring more numbers.
I like that idea, but oftentimes I feel like the Mirana and the Ricky, like, see what you say, we don't disagree. I think you're wrong, BluScale. Ouch. No, but I have seen a lot of the times that the Ricky and the Mirana, what they do is they go for like a soft support, like a Rubik. Maybe, you know, Monkey doesn't have a whole lot of health early on, and just by themselves, a sleeping dart with a smoke screen, with an arrow, with a star storm. Like, there's a lot of damage there to bring down someone like 1.2, 1.3 health, 1.3,000 health. They can do it by themselves, these 2. So, well, we'll see here. I do think it's going to be a bit of a tougher lane for Carl. You know, you are up against this Underlord. He hasn't taken any points yet, but I imagine he's going to have at least 2 points in Atrophy Hour by level 3, 4 at maximum. And very difficult for the Ember Spirit to last it. You don't have like a magic spell you can use, like a Puck who can just throw an Illusory Orb, or a Queen of Pain with a Sonic, with a Scream of Pain. It's just very tough for you in that situation to get the last hits.
Yeah, definitely.
Already, he's gonna go with the Firestorm level up. Yeah, of course, you know, just get that harass out.
Yeah, you just want to try and secure that range creep to start off the game with, which is always a handy start. Another thing to know as well, for Blacklist, their 2 supports can't, you know, really bring too much to the table, like trying to rotate this mid to help out the Ember Spirit to get like a kill or something. Like the Underlord is going to feel pretty safe. Like an Undying can't do much, you know, the Under you can just walk that off. Maybe they could do something with like the Ricky Smoke Cloud as well, but if Mamangdar is, you know, able to get the Firestorm off before that ability comes out, then there's no way they can go on this guy. And yes, it's just going to be really, really rough there for the Ember Spirit. Not many outs whatsoever in this lane.
By the way, there's one nice thing about the Underlord is that if they do the Ricky Smoke on, you know, they Sleeping Dart someone, Underlord can show up with his group, right? You can just throw a Fiend's Gate in the area, and they're like, if you want to take this fight, we'll just show up right there, right then and there. So I like that a lot. You know, it takes, you know, it's like a bit of a commitment. You know, it's a long cooldown spell, it takes 3 seconds to get there, but it's something that Blacklist will have to keep in mind. You know, there's this spell coming out from the Legion, and then there's a portal coming out from the Underlord, and suddenly these free ganks don't seem so free anymore.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be that possibility of a turnaround from Sport Team throughout the majority of this game, as you're saying. And yeah, Blacklist definitely have to pay attention to that. As soon as you forget that that exists, then that's when you put yourselves in real dangerous situations. Oh, red. And he dragged this creep, but then the range creep that he pulled away was like, "No, I'm done hitting you." Just ran into the tower and died. I'm sure Red's a little bit upset about that. Sort of ruined up his pulls here.
And the lol, he's like, "Let me harass while I can with the creep army." He needs to be a bit careful. Is he Might be a little out of position here. Does not have a snowball.
He wanted to try and get that courier kill. Unfortunately, he's just going to get himself killed. Ooh,
Whoa!
nice shot. Makes the space. Can AU get the finishing touch? The K's not going to get it. And Delol, I'm sure he's just going to deny himself to the... Oh, okay. No, AU didn't bother chasing after him. I thought maybe a couple more, like a decay or two, would have put him in the ground, but yeah, didn't want to waste any of his time.
He might deny himself to the ancient creeps right now, or no. But yeah, if this was the old Undying who had 20 damage, level 1 decay, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
He would have been able to get the kill, but Ice Frog removed that damage, and it's showing its impact. So far, though, Carl's been doing pretty solid in the mid lane. You know, he's got just as much CS as Momongdaya. However, Momongdaya, he is going to hit that level 4, puts the second point atrophy aura. So now I expect him to start pulling a little bit ahead.
Yeah, it definitely feels like he should be, but...
Red?
Up top, in some danger, but he's able to slip away. Hey, you know, it's the downside of this Ursa Undying setup. They don't have any real control whatsoever. No stuns. They got a little bit of a slow that comes out from the Earth Shock, but it's not really the most impactful in the world.
I've been following Raven's Curse since he.
Ooh, I just saw that on the top screen. Mamadia's health got very, very low then. Carl able to apply a lot of pressure. Like, this matchup is not going the way I would expect.
Not at all. Not at all. Carl is just. I mean, I guess the only fair thing to say would be he's outplaying him. You know, you gotta respect the guy when he does the outplay. That's what he's doing. He is just like I don't think this should be happening. I'm not the most familiar in mid lane matchups, but I don't think Mamangdai should be behind the Ember Spirit. That just does not seem likely in my head, at least.
Yeah, it's very.
But yeah. Back to Raven. He's been very active. He's actually got the Orb of Venom from the start of the game. He's also been a very active player on the Morphling, Monkey King. I've always remembered seeing his Morphling, Monkey King in some of the earlier tournaments I was casting. He just looked super impressive. This was back when he was getting on the up and up, you know. And I was like, man, this guy, you know, he's just very active with the heroes he plays, and the Ursa with the Orb of Venom, you know, keeping that up. At some point, he transitioned to playing like the Medusa and just farming, and I never felt like that fit his style.
Yeah, they're very much like the sit on your own and hit creeps for 40 minutes and then eventually you start doing stuff. I mean, some people do like to play the game that way. I always, back in my old carry days when I had to do that, I sort of got bored of it towards the end, which is why I just started throwing my life away, getting into bad situations. I was like, always wanted to play the active heroes. Sitting back and farming, yeah, it's not quite the same.
And I always find where people are like, I want to carry. I'm like, really? Carry seems kind of boring, man. It's like, you pick anti-mage, you farm for half an hour, then you show up to a fight and die, and then you're like, well, I had a good game. You know, they're like, oh, I really enjoyed my game. Dude, Carl's taking some damage here.
Hey, he's stepping up. Well, Mamadiah might be able to chase there with those strong right clicks. He might be able to bring Carl down, but maybe paying a little bit of, you know, much more respect there towards Carl. Didn't want to throw his own life away.
Still no deaths in this game. 5 minutes in, and Mamangdai needs to be careful. Both mid laners are going to be really contesting for that rune that's going to come up in 30 seconds. You know, you can have a bounty rune to go for, but this river rune filling up the ball will be crucial. Top lane, Red, taking some damage. Tombstone's dropped.
Yeah, can they get after him? Trying to run himself underneath the tier 1 tower. Raven, there you keep it chase. There's multiple zombies after him though, so they got the information about where he's trying to hide. Juking through the trees, can he get himself away? But not quite able to escape the clutches of the Undying. First blood finally found, 6 minutes in. And unfortunately for Blacklist, it is the position 5 that gets the kill credit. Not quite the one you want. Even Delol now actually blocking in the Undying, trying to tap him a couple of times, but he's got a few of the decay stacks. He's pretty damn tanky. Now Raven is here. Delol might have overstated his welcome and just gets punished hard. That's TP on cooldown as well.
I gotta say, Delol not going for 1 point in Snowball is extremely surprising. We often see when you play a Tusk, you go like 1-1-3, 1-1-1 by level 3, and you have a point in each ability. Sometimes they skip tactic, although supports really want the point in, but no points in Snowball by this stage of the game is very unusual. You know, it's something we don't see often at all. And he's definitely suffered. I think he could have gotten the kill on AU, maybe even walked out of there in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think he went for the 2 points tag team then? Because it seems like an Ursa on Dying lane is not easy at all to try and play aggressive against and, like, you know, man fight them, which is really what tag team wants you to do. So what do you think the real thinking behind it is?
It's hard to tell. I mean, he's the pro player. He would know this way better than I do. My guess is that they were thinking he and the Legion Commander would hit people, but that doesn't seem like it's happening, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen either Raven or AU drop below like maybe 2/3 of their health. They've always been pretty healthy, so it's a bit of an odd choice. Maybe he expects it'll be helpful later on. It's an odd choice. Honestly, it's just an odd choice, and I'm not quite sure what the reason for it would be.
It's quite odd. Just saw Tim's take away a very valuable courier there, and looks like going to be able to also take down the life of Travens as well. Nice moves coming out from Blacklist. But yeah, Jikro's courier had, I think it was completed Orb Corrosion and completed Wand on it, so that's gone for over a minute's time. Very nice pick off there from Tim's.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't even have the magic stick. Like it's okay if you have the magic stick and you like don't finish the magic wand, but you don't even have the magic stick. That was the one on it. Orb of Corrosion is also another nice one that would have helped him delaying stage. And I was wondering if Ravens would go for it. No, he's going straight for the Battlefield build. Mid lane.
Yeah, take a lot of damage there from Carl. At least able to bring down the Tusk, but the Firestorm's on top of it, but it doesn't matter. The Flame Shield not quite enough to give him the protection from the magic damage. And he does die, but regardless, they take down 3 heroes in response. Pretty decent outcome there for Blacklist.
Oh, for sure. Losing Carl in that situation. Yeah, Momogdai gets a good amount of experience out of it, but you bring down the support. It's really good for them. And one thing about Blacklist's draft is that they're slightly slow. Tim's gets his sleeping dart. Like he can play active, of course, and they are, but Ricky really comes online at the 15-minute mark. That's just how the hero is. You have Mirana who wants to farm a little bit, and we know how Undying is, right? He's more good in team fights, not really good in sort of the roaming setup situations. Mid lane, Carl make some damage. Snowball comes, but it's not gonna be enough.
Just a little bit mistimed there, quite unfortunate. And I just see AU talking about the Undying. He actually went for phase boots. It's a pretty greedy item choice there, coming out from a position 5.
He's also got Arcane Boost queued up. Alright. Chat, do you think AU is gonna get a boot for each foot? Or is it like, no, it's just phase and I'm trolling you? Because I don't really see why you'd ever not go for the Arcane Boots on Undying. Oh, Tim's, is he in trouble?
Able to slip himself away. It's just very, very difficult to get on top of the old Ricky. Yeah, it is quite interesting. Not entirely sure what the big play is here, unless somehow he made face boots by accident. But that is very, very hard to do from a position 5.
Yeah, I don't think you buy Blaze of Attack on Undying for no reason. You know, I can see the chain, but I don't see the Blaze of Attack arrow. Misses, and the aggression is going to stop. Looks like Cuckoo is going to go just for the Greaves build. Nothing crazy there. Classic Aura build on the Mirana. You know, he does have a bit of right click coming out from the 2 Wraith bands, but he seems like, just want to get the auras and just want to be durable. It's an interesting pick to use Mirana to go for a build, because she is not a durable hero in general. You know, she's only got 900 health, and that's with a fair amount of stats on her as well.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting choice to go for that. Like, do you think it's because their draft just really needs this item, and I guess she's the only one that really can get it at a decent time?
I guess, but I think you can also give it to AU, right? Like, if he wasn't busy making phase boot, Undying is one of the best mech builders as a support for sure. So this is a very conscious choice that, like, no, we want him to have it. So I guess it's a timing thing, like you were mentioning. We wanted to have it early, and he's the best guy to get it.
Yeah. Let's see just how early he is actually going to be able to achieve that. But still, looks like up the top lane, Spawner got a an okay sized creep wave, could be able to do some damage to this tier 1 tower with the help of the catapult. But it's going to take some time. It doesn't look like Blacklist are going to bring any other people up here to try and defend it. Meanwhile, Mammoth did actually head down towards the bot there. I guess he's just going to slowly try and pressure up this tower. Because, as we know, once an Undying makes once an Underlord makes a rotation, it's very, very difficult for them to actually move back to where they came from.
And he's farming really well. He's not far from the Rod of Atos. Once he gets that, I do think that the aggression from Spawn is going to go up quite a bit here. And I think they kind of need it to, right? Like, you have a Legion Commander, but she wants to go for Blade. She has Blade Mill. She wants to go for Blink Dagger. She's going to take some time. Monkey King can rotate, but he wants to farm. He wants to go for the Battle Fury build. And I love it when you leave a camp just when they drop a good neutral item. You're like, oh shit, I have to go back for it. But yeah, Jikro, he wants to farm, right? He's going to be your late game support, so it's really on Momongdai to get something to happen.
Yeah. See who's going to be able to do that. Actually, talking about the old carries, Raven, a full 1,200 gold ahead of the Monkey King 12 minutes in. Not the biggest difference we see between position ones at this stage, but definitely a comfortable start here for Blacklist, especially with the solid 2k gold advantage between the entire team. And yeah, very, very close to also completing his battle fury there for Raven. Then we will see that farmer speed increase a hell of a lot.
They've also got a couple of stacks for him in the triangle. I wonder if Tim's is going to go stack one more time. But yeah, they have a couple of Ancients, a couple of those big creeps as well. It's not the biggest stack. Oh, mid lane.
So they're trying to get on top of the Ember Spirit, but instead Delol just gets punished very hard. Tombstone also getting dropped. Amadiah's going to be able to back himself. Oh, nice Boundless. Perfectly timed. Red trying to get the jewel. Actually has to drop it on towards the Undying instead. They do have the damage to burst him down at the very least, and should be able to clean up the Tombstone. So even though it was a 1-for-1 trade of the supports, definitely Spawn team coming out ahead there.
Yeah, plus the Tombstone, right? Which is worth almost like half a here right now. He's leveled up to level 3, so it's 175 gold. That's a lot of gold for them. Tim's wasn't in that fight as well. It looks like he is just going to try to avoid fights, farm up a little bit until he has enough gold for the Agam Shard, but it's only 2 minutes until it's ready. So he is actually pretty damn farmed as a support. You know, he's almost twice as much as the Rubik.
Yeah, it is pretty damn good.
Greedy Tims. Greedy Tims. You know?
If it works.
I've seen him play on like a Monkey King support, and he's like, guys, let me just get this clear camp. Let me get get this creep camp. Let me get like a Maelstrom. Then I'm ready to fight. Let me get a Gleipnir. It's like, all right, dude, just say you want to play a core, and we got it.
That's the dream of support. Playing support roles, so you're really active and you're doing stuff, but you're as rich as a core, and that's a dream game right there. And Tim's definitely off to a good start to do that.
Yeah, and the Ricky is one of those heroes who, as a 4, could do a lot. And he actually has got 4 staff queued up. I don't think he's going to finish that yet, but definitely going to be the shot first. Moonlight Shadow is used. Ravens? Is that the one? He does reveal it.
And in comes the rest of the
Blacklist, they're going top.
Yeah, they got the grab onto Travins. The first one does get punched away, but gets hit on the arrow anyway. Down goes Rubik to low. It's a real danger as well. No chance to survive in this one. And the 2 supports on the Spawn team do die. They force them off of the tier 1 tower and give a bit more space to Raven. But actually, action in the mid. Mammoth beating into Tim's. But can't quite, it's not enough to bring down the Ricky at this stage.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage though. But they also do decent damage to the tier 1 mid, losing both your supports. Blacklist, it doesn't feel like they're taking control of the map, but they are. 3,000 gold advantage. Ravens is farming up a storm. He is 2,000 gold ahead of Jikroy now. It's very scary. We haven't seen him do anything like get involved in these fights, but you gotta be worried if you're smart. If you know what's going on, you'd be like, oh crap, Ravens is farming. Jikroy still needs one more component of the Battle Fury, and he's far from it.
Yeah, it's already a sizable lead for the old Ursa Bear. Raven feels quite comfortable as a result. I was going to say what do you think he's going to go for, the Basher or the Blink, and he just queues up both of them, so... I don't know. Well, actually, come forward here. Big jewel for Red.
Well played.
Oh, perfectly executed there. He just saw the opportunity to get that quick kill. And unfortunately for Raven, he just could not react fast enough to get the Omo off, and that is a big play from the Legion Commander.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, right? The Blade Mail comes out, you get dueled. Legion Commander, as long as you have more health than the Ursa, you're always going to be crushing him. I don't think he was at full health. They also got Cuckoo in the meantime, and they're going for Carl as well. Can they get this?
It's good lockdown, chaining him up. There is going to be the smoke cloud, which actually denied the walrus punch there from below, allowed Carl to disengage, allowed a potential turnarounds. Okay, I thought maybe they might try to jump onto Travins, but they will let the Rubik go. It was a nice attempt.
Yeah, they couldn't get the snowball, couldn't get the walrus punch. Even the Rubik lift was not available, also like 2 seconds off, so unfortunate timing. And Travins, if he puts down a sentry ward, he'll be greatly rewarded.
Yeah, he gets hit.
Arrow comes out.
It's the arrow. That is a dead Rubik for sure. Even Tombstone gets dropped right in front of the tier 1 tower here, so we'll see if Blacklist are going to be able to use this as like a little holding point and try and do some damage to the tier 1, but there are no creeps for miles around.
Plus, it's kind of hard to go up against the Underlord. Once you have that Firestorm, it's tough to try to push against him.
Yeah, looks like Red, though, has been caught. There was actually the neutral creeps blocking out from the arrow, still trying to land it. Will get the connection, but it's not going to be a huge stun duration. To Snowball, making some space. In comes the Undying Underlord as well. Sorry, get the lockdown on towards Tim, but still Red has dropped.
Oh, the
Everyone
sleep!
dispersing. And even AU getting involved, lots of people turning up for this one, and Mama Dyer just jumps back into his portal, gets the hell out. Still with the Moonlight Shadow, Blacklist are in the general vicinity, and the scan connects onto Delo. Arrow not gonna land. And I think, is he safe? Does he get spotted? Yeah, he does. They find him hiding in the trees. Nicely done.
Unfortunately, both he was just at the edge of the sentry, and by the time that he was sort of out of it, the Moonlight Shadow was ended. So a bit unfortunate for them. I like what Momang Dai did. He shows up and he's like, nope, and just leaves it. But they were able to win that fight because Tim's got a good sleep on him. You know, if he shows up, he throws that bit of malice, gets that rod of Atos on people, Firestorm on top, he would have done a lot. And he's got the shard. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, that is a dead Monkey King. Jigcroy getting caught with his pants down there, and they're just using this Ricky Marauder combination perfectly here for Blacklist, just looking for pickoff after pickoff. Actually, talking about pickoffs down in the mid lane, Carl has been caught. A dual victory. I think that's number 3 there online for red.
Oh yeah, the Underlord's got a shard, Momang Daya, so it gives you 3 extra firestorms and they come out 25% faster. So it should be around, I think it comes out around the same like duration, takes the same duration to come out, but this is very interesting. He's going for it. I don't think I've seen this a whole lot from the hero. I mean, I don't think I've seen this shard in general come out, so
Yeah.
it's a good amount of damage though. 9 damage per, and times 9, that's what, 810?
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
suppose
solid.
maybe it's like, as I was saying earlier in the draft, like they don't have a huge amount of follow-up damage for the duel to try and burst people down. So maybe that is the whole point, is like literally whoever gets hit from that duel, you drop this Firestorm on top and yeah, they are taking a bajillion damage a second. And it seems to be working out so far, securing a few of those duel victories. Also didn't note they took down the tier 1 tower mid as well. So opening up a bit of the map there and more room to play around.
How much is a bajillion exactly? Because I don't think I've.
Uh,
Is it more like? Is it more or less than a gazillion? Is it,
I feel like they're kind of on par with each other. All I know is like
of course.
a bajillion, gazillion, I'd say is more than a billion, but
Yes,
the actual value is just a big question mark in my mind.
I see. So he's doing more than 1 billion damage with the Firestorm. Oh,
yeah.
Travis gets spotted. Alright, they know they're there. They're going for Momang Daya.
Arrow, yeah, easily set up there from the old sleeping dart, and the Unlords gets torn to shreds there from the air, so Travin's also getting caught out. And so Carl's going to try and clean up some of the... I think it was just a double stack though on the Ancients, not a huge loss that gets taken away, but regardless, fine too. And now Roshan also going to get cleared up. Blacklist starts to take control of this game.
Oh, AU did not go for the 2-boot strategy, by the way, but it's so unfortunate, man. This is what we're seeing happen every time this Ricky comes out. If they have a good game, they'll just do this for the entire game. Someone's they're not even out of position, you know, they're just on their side of the map, and you have this Invis coming out from you, either the Moonlight or the Ricky just catching people with the Sleeping Dart. I gotta say, this spell, I feel like there's something's gonna happen to it. It's just been doing too much. Every game I'm seeing where the Ricky has a good game, it has been near impossible for the other side to play. And Spawn, they are suffering right now. Jikroy, he's got the battlefield, he's farming not too far from the BKB, but
Yes.
I don't know. It feels like it's tough going right now for Spawn. Very tough going.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, with the BKB, it'll help try and avoid some of that lockdown, but it doesn't really do anything to the actual damage output of Blacklist. You know, the Ursa's still going to plow through him even with BKB activated. Ember Spirit's going to be, you know, throwing out the Sleight of Fist still. So, you know, it answers some problems, but it doesn't quite make him the invincible carry that he wants to be. But yeah, talking about the Sleeping Dart, how do you think it could be changed? Maybe, like, make the sleep duration 2 seconds instead of 3? Would that help it out?
I think it would be like when it takes a second to apply, right? Like you throw a sleeping dart to someone, 1 second actually like the effect hits you, you know, you fall asleep. Like it's like, oh, you know, it's not an instant one, it's a 1 second, then you fall asleep. So you can activate BKB, you can like, you know, blink if you have some sort of ability like that. It's not like this, oh, okay, I'm hit by that, so there's nothing I can do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that would definitely make sense. Or even
how about you?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, yeah, definitely your one, or even maybe make the projectile slower so you can see it coming and you have more of a chance to react, perhaps. Yeah, there are a couple of different ways that Ice Frog could change it if you so wish, but actually Tim's just constantly poking and prodding on towards Jinkroy. It's just so easily picks him off. Didn't even need like the arrow setup to come out from the sleeper dart that time, just Tim's constantly holding the arrow in place, but so they didn't need the Mirana, but hey, it definitely helps to have her around. Clears up another kill there onto the low, double kill for Raven. And yeah, now we definitely started to feel Blacklist taking a strong dominant lead in this game. 6,000 gold advantage just 22 minutes in. They've got the Aegis, they're definitely excelling in farm. And the Spawn team, they've got to do something to try and, you know, mix things up.
They are getting close to 3 BKBs on their course, right? Like, that'll help you a lot. Delo's going to go for the Blink Dagger, which is kind of useful because you can sort of, like, blink in, catch someone. But oftentimes, what we see with the Riki is that the moment the Sleeping Dart lands, smoke screen's right on top. So, could easily counter the Tusk as well. The Tusk pick has not paid off in any way for Spawn. And, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling his impact at all, Delo, in this game.
Yeah, as well. I mean, we've seen a lot of Tusks in the past do fantastic work, but as you were saying, like, just the Riki pickup definitely puts a stop to a lot of what Tusk wants to do. You can't go for their snowball saves, like you're saying. The smoke cloud just going to counter that every single time. And yeah, if Delo can't really get that sort of impact coming in, he doesn't feel hugely impactful. It looks like maybe they're going to try and go for a 4-man smoke right now by their tier 2. I mean, they're all gathered up to do something like that, but talking about gathering up, Blacklist now around the tier 2 mid, trying to pressure in. Arrow.
There we go.
Lands. Already actually blinks into the stun that coming there from Cuckoo. Oh no, that is very, very unfortunate of him, and it's not even done yet. Raven charging forwards. Travis trying to make space, but again, the sleeping dart hold him in place. This skill is just so damn strong in the hands of Tims right now, doing tons of work. Potentially going to turn it on towards the Riki, but Raven's just beating into Mamang Dyer. The tanky Underlord just does not seem tanky enough, and the sleeping dart again, another +1. Gaben, remove this damn skill. It's too impactful.
That spell, I was like, oh, it's got 40 seconds cooldown because he seems like he never has. No, it's 12 seconds to... Dude, he is... Like, I said from the start, I liked Spawn's draft a little bit more. But I see the Riki come out and I'm like, my god, have I seen so many games where the Riki just runs rampant and does whatever he wants. And it's super hard to play, right? You have to sentry ward whatever you are playing, wherever you want to go. It's so difficult. Bomb lane Spawn...
They're gonna try it. If they can get this grab onto Raven, it will be big.
Oh,
with the smoke cloud! Okay, they had the BKB at least. They got the first kill. It's just the Aegis though. See if they can turn around. Another sleep lands on towards Jinkroy, but quick fingers there from Raven allows him to blink dagger out. But they're all still gathering that Blacklist. They want to take this fight if they can. Arrow not gonna land onto anyone this time, but Wukong's command has run out. And now Blacklist definitely going to feel confident to try and press their advantage while they can. Jump gets back once Raven. On top of Red and Delol, just the AoE damage shreds the Tusk to pieces. Down goes the LC. Travin's also falling. And just like that, Spawn team get torn to pieces yet again.
Mamang Dai is going to go for the Heaven's Halberd just to take away some of the Ursa's damage, but it doesn't feel like it even matters. It's just, you know, it's always been Sleeping Dart to Arrow, then you have all the time in the world to get those kills, even with 2 saving mechanisms, which are the Snowball as well as the Legion Commander's press the attack. It just does not matter. And the top lane, Jinkroy. Is he gonna be caught? He's actually hiding as a tree.
Yeah, the old sneaky tree on top of the tree. It's always a good way to avoid it. Tim's just constantly looking for those sleeping darts, and yeah, easy peasy way of getting that extra kill. But yeah, as we were mentioning, Mamang Dyer, like this Underlord mid pick on paper did sound, it sounded alright, you know, if he was able to take that dominant lead versus the Ember Spirit mid, but somehow, Carl was actually able to come out on top in that 1v1 situation, and that completely made this Underlord pick kind of useless. Like, really need that strong start. Oh yeah, he's been caught.
Oh no! Oh, the arrow. I mean, sorry, the sleeping dart gets me. He got the sleeping dart as he was jumping up the tree, and they just cut the tree the monkey was on. And but yeah, I go back to your point. It is crazy to see Carl. Like, I've always known he's a very talented mid, but he was able to crush the matchup. Ember Spirit versus Underlord. That is not a matchup that we often see going that way. Monk Dyer's got the Heaven's Halberd, that's gonna help him, but again, the biggest problem is it's not damage, it's not lockdown, it's the fact that Tims is always starting these fights with a massive advantage for Blacklist.
Yeah, it just immediately makes that one hero advantage,
Oh,
locks them
duel.
down. We're talking about one hero advantage. They're trying to go on towards the Mirana right now, but the response just comes on out from Blacklist. Going to be able to save the Mirana long enough to get out. No, they can't. She will
Whoa.
still drop, but it just does not matter. They get the Mirana, but they lose pretty much everyone in response. Mamadai's trying to walk himself away, but just Carl alone is bullying into him. And that is it. 4 people dead there for Spawn Team, and they just tap out. GG is called.
Can't blame them at all. Cannot blame them. They got Ricky'd. They had no way. They had options to deal with it, but they just Tims was too good. They just could not get on top. They couldn't kill Tims. They couldn't find Tims, and they just kept falling to him. That last attempt was bold. Going for a cool. He had 2 Wraith bans after 25 minutes. He had a Pupil's Gift, which gives him 300 health. He's got the Power Tread, so it was an interesting jump on him, but it was never gonna work.
Yeah, it's sort of showcased how pretty much all the jump kills they got were on the Ursa because of the Blade Mail. Like, you know, the Ursa
Yes.
pretty much kills himself. Mirana does absolutely no sort of physical damage, so wasn't affected by that at all. Survived pretty much nearly the entire time. And then, yeah, the rest of Blacklist just came in and cleaned everyone up. And, yeah, that was very one-sided. I mean, the start was quite even. I think First Blood took about, what was it, 6 or 7 minutes? Something like that?
6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't a dominant lead at the start by Blacklist, but it doesn't matter. They were able to just, you know, come out of that lane and phase running and just completely ran over Spawn Team.
I don't think you can give them Ricky. I feel like, honestly, it's like you can't give them Ricky. You can't give them Brood Mother. It's like you have to take first pick on Spawn, get rid of the Ricky, get rid of the Brood Mother, or take Ricky for yourself. Like, you cannot afford to go up against that again. It's been one of the biggest issues in terms of sports. I've seen people say, "Oh, Twins Protector's really good, Rubik's really good," but Ricky is the only sport where I feel like he dominates the game itself. Like, you know, he's actually the one controlling the game, similar to where Brood Mother does it.
Yeah.
So if Spawn can't deal with it and they had answers to this game, you might as well just ban it or pick it for yourself, no matter what. Just get it out of Blacklist International's hands. Get it out of Tim's hand. He's too good.
Yeah, 100%. Like, do you think that might cause them to try and go for first pick in the next game and then take the Ricky themselves? Or if they don't get that, who do they then not ban? Do they let the Treant go through or the Brood Mother?
Yeah, the Treant. Honestly, I mean, I know AU loves the Treant, and I've seen the European players are amazing with it. You get the blink overgrowth; it's fantastic. Like, you can do a lot with Treant, but I don't think Treant, closes the map off like a Ricky does. I think that no, Ricky is too good. No. It has get rid of the Ricky, get rid of the Brood Mother, take the lean or the Treant, whatever. Just don't give it to them.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be, well, definitely the MVP of that game, but probably going to be the last time we see that hero, at least for this series, maybe the entire day, because, yeah, Ricky's just way too impactful. But obviously, that is game number 1 down, guys, of this best of 3. Game number 2 will be coming up in about 10 minutes' time, so do not go anywhere. We got more to come.